For those who don't know, Nike just dropped their own line of strength equipment, and I gotta be honest, it's pretty sweet. From free weights to weight benches and power racks, they've got just about everything you need to fully kit out your home gym. So you know what we're gonna do today? We're gonna spend some time breaking down all of their gear, kind of talk about the specs and sort of how it compares against the rest of the market. We got a lot to talk about today, so let's get right to it. What's up, y'all? It's Jake back in the BarBend Garage Gym, and for today's video, we're gonna be talking about Nike's brand new line of strength gear. Now, I have not purchased everything yet, but I did go ahead and purchase some of the free weights as you see right here. So I'm really excited to show you guys up close, all the details of these products, but we're also gonna talk about some of the other gear that I don't have yet. Now, before I do all of that, I just wanna make sure you guys know that we've reviewed a whole lot of fitness equipment on BarBend.com, and we have a best list for every category imaginable. So for example, all you gotta do is search BarBend Best Barbells. That article is gonna pull right up for you, and you can find out for yourself which ones we like the best. Now, I'm gonna be putting out a good amount of individual reviews over all the gear that was just right here in front of me, but I wanna start this video off with probably the most sought after piece of equipment they're gonna have, which is the barbells. All right, so Nike released two different barbells, the Nike barbell and the Nike coated premium barbell. I have the coated premium one right here in front of me. It's got a ceramic finish, so it's gonna be really highly resistant to rust and corrosion. The Nike barbell, the only difference here is that it's chrome and black chrome. That's it. All the specs, everything else is the same. So these are both multi-purpose bars, and you're gonna have 4 needle bearings in the loading sleeves. It's gonna create a pretty solid rate of spin, but remember, I'm gonna detail all that later on down the road. I've been pretty impressed with it so far. You do have a medium knurl right here with the volcano style knurling, so each individual marking dips in like a volcano does, and you do have dual knurl markings right here for identical hand placement. So the International Powerlifting Federation is on the inside, International Weightlifting Federation is on the outside. So that's pretty cool too. These are also pretty competitively priced compared to the rest of the market. So the 15 kg version of that regular bar is gonna be about $250, while the 20 kg is about $285. Only reason it's cheaper is just because the coating, chrome, is not as resistant to rust and corrosion as this ceramic will be. So that extra money is probably gonna be worth it. Whichever bar you purchase, they're both gonna have 190,000 tensile strength rating. So that's strong enough for some heavy lifts, but it's also gonna have a pretty solid amount of whip, which is something that you want with an explosive lift like a power clean. Now, this is a solid bar considering this is Nike's first go at it, but for me, the only drawback I have with it is just the knurling right here. Now, it's just a little bit passive and it doesn't seem to be cut as deep as plenty of other barbells out there. So I'm sure in the long run, it's going to be improved, their next version and so on and so forth. But just for now, it's something that you need to keep in mind. All right, so on to the next, I guess, second most sought after piece of equipment. It's probably going to be these dumbbells right here. They're really nice. Obviously, you have the rubber coating right here. It's got this hex design. I love hex dumbbells. I'm able to do my push-ups on the floor with them. It's just a really great thing. You can do burpees with them. I think they're superior than rounded dumbbells, okay? So these range from 5 pounds to 100 pounds. Price point is a little steep, honestly. So I have the 50-pound pair right here. These go for $95 a piece. So at least, $200 or so for a pair. The hundreds, they're gonna be $185 a piece. Compared to a company like Rogue, with Rogue, you can get the hundreds for, I think, $355 for a pair right now. So kind of expensive. I was a little bit surprised, but they're pretty sweet. Like I said, the steel handle right here is chrome plated, so it's got a little bit of rust and corrosion protection. And then you've got a pretty nice knurling right here, honestly. Now, the actual handle is gonna change as you go up in weight. So everything under 70 pounds is gonna have this ergonomic shaped handle, while the 70s to 100-pound dumbbells, those are all gonna have a straight handle. The knurling pattern's the same though, and I obviously don't have anything other than these right here, but I'm sure those are gonna be really nice. I prefer a straight handle, so honestly, it'd be kind of nice if you could choose. It costs a lot of money for them to do that, but that'd be kind of cool. Now, one thing that's kind of, jumping at me, it's a little bit troublesome, is that the weight accuracy is listed as plus minus 3%. That's a pretty big percentage. Most of the time with companies, you're gonna see 1%. So, whenever I do the full review of these, I'm gonna have a scale and kind of weigh them out and everything like that. So definitely be on the lookout. Okay, so let's talk about some kettlebells now. And honestly, their kettlebells are pretty average compared to the rest of the competition, right? These are gravity casts, so there's no welding right here, which that's something that you definitely want. That's a good thing. Powder coat finish, feels pretty good, gives you a really solid grip. It's got a machine finished flat base right here. You don't have to worry about it wobbling over or anything like that. The thing that really stuck out the most with me was the actual packaging whenever I received this kettlebell. Okay, so if you've ever bought a kettlebell before, you know that most of the time they're just in a simple cardboard box, and by the time you get it, that box has been kind of destroyed, and you're gonna notice, some chips in the paint, and that's kind of annoying sometimes. There's still a chip right here I'm gonna show you in a second, but I was actually, impressed by the effort that they took to actually protect the kettlebell. All right, so it was in that same, normal cardboard box that was inside of a cardboard box that had styrofoam around it, and outside of the big cardboard box was more cardboard. So they really tried to do their best effort to protect this kettlebell as much as possible. But as you see, there's a pretty big chunk right here missing, even a little bit right here as well. So I wouldn't really put that against Nike. I think it's more so just, happened during transit and somebody wasn't very careful with it. But, I think that's pretty cool, and hopefully we kind of see that become a common trend, common theme, whatever you want to call it, within the fitness industry. Now, these are available from 9 pounds up to 88 pounds. I have the 53-pound bell right here. It's going to cost you about $100. That's a pretty sweet deal, honestly. I mean, I was just comparing to Kettlebell Kings, and their 53-pound bell is going to cost you about $166 right now. So if you are in the market for some new kettlebells, I think these are going to be pretty solid. One more thing that's kind of alarming, similar to the dumbbells, is the fact that these also have a plus minus 3% weight accuracy. And whenever I do this full review, I'm also going to pull out a scale and test it out and check it out and everything like that. So that's definitely something that you want to be cautious of, because you don't want to be swinging around a dumbbell that's either heavier or not as heavy as listed. Okay, so Nike also dropped 2 different style of bumper plates. So they have your regular virgin rubber plates, but they also have the crumb bumpers right here. These are technically called the grind bumpers. I had to get these, dude. These look just sweet in my opinion. They're made from recycled shoe material, so the rubber from shoes. Manufacturing defects, whatever the case is, that's where they're coming up with these right here. And that's the case with all crumb bumpers, if you don't know, made with recycled rubber, and they offer more bounce than virgin rubber plates do. So with the other ones, they have an 88 durometer rating, which is gonna lead to a dead bounce. Don't know the rating of these, but they're pretty bouncy, and I've noticed that in my time with them. Once again, I'm gonna do these, in a full individual review, and we'll talk about it more then. But these are available at a pretty solid price point. So a pair of these 45s right here, about $110. It's cheaper than some other companies out there. They're actually $10 more expensive, actually, than the virgin rubber ones, which is kind of surprising. And that means that the other ones are also available at a really solid price point. $100 for a pair of 45-pound bumper plates is kind of rare, and I think that's definitely something you should go and snag if you're looking for some new ones. Now, these are thicker than the other ones. These are 3.15 inches, while the virgin rubber coating, it's 2.98 with the 45s. So that extra thickness, it takes away from the amount of space that's on your loading sleeve. It's also, over time, as you go up in weight, it could affect the whip of your barbell a little bit. So just kind of keep that in mind. So they also dropped 2 different weight benches. Now they're both flat, so there's obviously not a whole lot of versatility going on. I really wish they would have made an adjustable bench. Maybe they will before too long, who knows. But either way, I mean, both of them are made from 11 gauge steel, so they both have an 1,100 pound weight capacity. But if it was me, I'd definitely go after the one that has a handle and wheels. It's more practical overall, but also that front foot design is actually a tripod, so you're able to get better foot placement as you go to lift. Plus, it's only $85 more than the other one, and it has 3x3 inch steel tubing as opposed to 2x2. Only thing here though is that the bench does not meet the IPF height requirements. It's 18 inches tall as opposed to 17, so just keep that in mind. Now I just want to briefly touch on their squat racks and power racks as well. So they're actually calling it a squat cage, but to be honest, it's a power rack. And I think that's awesome. It's ultimate versatility as opposed to the squat stand and the squat rack. So that squat stand is about 450 bucks. The squat rack is about 700 to 750. And then that power rack, that's gonna cost you about 950 bucks. Yeah, I know that's more expensive than the other ones, but like I said, it's more versatile. It's got a pull-up bar built into it and everything like that. They're using 3x3 inch 11 gauge steel tubing on all of these. So that's amazing. You know, it's gonna be really durable and last you a long time, but they're also all gonna have an 1,100 pound weight capacity. So even, you know, the most elite level lifters are gonna be able to easily, you know, work out with these racks. And that's gonna be great. And it's just, I'm really happy that Nike is also doing that as opposed to just sticking to the free weights. All right, well, that's a wrap on today's overview of Nike's new strength equipment. This is a really great thing for the fitness industry, okay? So because of Nike's resources and everything, they're able to kind of lower their price tags compared to some other companies while not necessarily sacrificing quality. So hopefully this leads to more competition within the industry and more companies are able to kind of step up their game a little bit and drop the prices for the consumer because let's be honest, fitness equipment is pretty expensive. Now, overall, I've been pretty impressed with the free weights you see right here in front of me. Just remember, I am gonna be doing an individual review for every single one of these, so stay on the lookout for that. Thanks for hanging out with me, y'all. Hope this video was helpful and I was kind of able to give you that brief overview that you're looking for as you're going to, you know, make any of these purchases. You can't always purchase it from the Nike Strength website, but also head over to your local Dick's Sporting Goods and you can snag all of it right there as well. Now, I'm gonna go keep testing all this gear. I'll catch y'all next time.